The lovely and talented Miss Lynnel Townsend is in the house. How you doing?
I am doing great and happy to be back.
Get right up on that bad boy.
I'm doing great and happy to be back.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back in here. And tell us about yourself as we get started.
My name is Lynnel Townsend. I'm CEO of an organization, SHS&S, designed to help caregivers that are suffering from burnout. Am I doing okay?
Well, we're going to have to swap up the mic for you. You have to get on this one because that one you got to get right up on. Yeah, you can just slide right over there.
Okay.
And we'll continue our conversation. Now, if you have a loved one at home that you're having to take care of, and if you have ever been in that situation, that's a 24/7, 365 assignments, and you need help, and help is here in the form of Lynnel Townsend, and there she is.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get this right.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay,
Alrighty.
let's start over here. And Lynnel, tell us about yourself and your company.
Yes. Again, my name is Lynnel Townsend. I'm CEO of an organization called SHS&S that I created in order to help caregivers that are suffering from burnout. Why? Because I am a caregiver. I know how they feel, and I know what it will take in order to be able to end caregiver burnout. So I created the program specifically for them.
And anyone that's ever had to take care of a loved one at home, they understand it's 24/7, 365, and it will change your relationship with a family member.
Absolutely.
And people need help, and that's what you're here for, right?
I'm hoping so. Hopefully I can be able to be assistant.
Caregiver burnout. And also, you brought a special guest today with you, Hector Castillo. Hector, how are you, sir?
Very good, very good. I'm very happy to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. And what do you do?
I'm the marketing director for the company.
Caregiver burnout.
Absolutely.
And help is on the way. So let's start with this, Lynnel. You mentioned that each time that we've talked on the air, a few individuals and supporting organizations here in Jackson that have been supportive of you. Can you talk about those folks?
I'm going to start with
Do you mind?
I do not mind at all. I'm going to start with my number one support, and that's my husband. My husband has supported me, first of all, throughout all these 4 years that I've been able to try to get the organization together. I appreciate him. He's the one that helps to dry my tears or whatever else. I mean, working third shift, he reminds me that I'm not superhuman, so I appreciate that. But he has been one of the backbones, though, too, with what I've been able to do. But as far as individuals in Jackson, one individual I appreciate, though, too, when I think about Clarissa Williams, she is president of Jackson Madison County African American Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, I just met her the other day. What a lovely
amazing.
lady.
She's amazing. We've known each other for years.
She spoke so highly of you.
I'll have to pay her for that. I'm kidding. So anyway.
You should. I said, hey, enough about Lynnel. What about me? Let's talk about me. No, she really did, Lynnel. She had the nicest things to say about you.
Perfect. Well, I feel the same with her. I appreciate the various different resources she has told me about, the two individuals. She also introduced me to Don McCurry, who himself is executive director. I appreciate the various different organizations, individuals, and also resources that he connected me to. So those are two individuals. One other shout I'd like to be able to give out and that's to Ella Watkins, who is CEO of an organization called SWAG. She, too, has been very instrumental in introducing me to a lot of individuals that has been very supportive. So thank you, Ella.
She's the CEO of SWAG?
Yes, she is.
That's my old job.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Well, what about your GoFundMe page, your Pay It Forward?
With my GoFundMe page, and first of all, I want to say when you go to our website, caregiverburnout.com, as you go to the resources, you're going to go to the About Us. It's right at the end of the page. And that's a design. It's going to be self-explanatory. It's going to talk about some of the things that we're trying to accomplish as an organization. So the funds that we receive is going to help us in our endeavors. But in addition to that, most importantly, it's going to help. We want to be able to pay it forward by being able to, according to how much we're going to be able to generate with funds, we want to put a few individuals to our program for free. So the funds that we receive is going to also not only help us as an organization do what we're trying to do to help caregivers, it's going to also help those of the few that we're going to put through there for free. Of course, it depends on the fundings and so forth. and we have to keep you updated as to when that's going to take place.
That sounds great, Lynnel. And will you talk about, again, the manual that you will help families create and what's inside that manual?
I want to show it to you first.
Okay.
I want to start by saying, though, too, in my 18 years of working as a caregiver, no matter what agency that I've worked with or individuals, I have never worked for an agency that has not had a manual that they call an ISP, professional organizations. And the ISP is filled with all the information pertaining to the individual's ailment, all the physicians, medications, equipment, everything involved with them is in there. It's a plan of care. Now, that's an ISP. Ours is called an HSP, Holistic Support Plan. And the reason why is because it's not just the information pertaining to the caregiver, the individual needing care, but it's also information pertaining to that caregiver. And it's actually designed to be able to help with the whole family. So our program, our manual, it's downloadable material. It's in a PDF form with accompanying videos that you can play back and forth. We're not so much into hands-on, because when you have the material, you don't really need a lot of our help with. You can't do the program with or without a help. But then we like to go ahead and add on, though, too. We have a monthly program that we design, and that's going to be able to help, because there is a lot of other information individuals would like to have on an ongoing basis. So I've had over 18 years of experience. So some of the experience that I have, I'm going to be able to put that in our monthly subscription. And we're hoping to be able to interview individuals or two in the caregiving field. That's going to also help to give other resources and information.
It's a great idea.
Yes, sir.
When we come back, we're going to bring Hector into the conversation as well. Lynnel, I am losing my voice.
For you.
Can you host the morning show tomorrow morning, 6 to 8?
Right here.
I bet you would, too. That little green powder, that life-giving little green powder known as pollen, is killing me, Lynnel.
Same here. My asthma.
Lordy. Lynnel Townsend is here. Victor Castillo is here. And the name of the company, Lynnel, is what?
SHS&S. And our website is endcaregiverburnout.com.
Caregivers burn out.
Yes.
And if you're a caregiver, don't burn out. You get help here. And let's get to this, then we'll get to Hector. But I wanted to ask you about a couple more things.
Yes.
By the way, this is number 2 of 9 in the interview session with Mrs. Lynnel Townsend, as we talk about a variety of subjects, about the services that her organization, SHS&S, HS.
That's okay.
Let me try that again. SHS&S.
You got it.
Hey,
that's a tongue twister. That's no problem.
it is, and her company provides a number of different services in order to help caregivers who are suffering from burnout. And if you're not yet, you will if you're a caregiver.
Absolutely.
You'll find out more about Lynnel and on her website, incaregiverburnout.com. And today's topic will be covering why families should work together to support a main family caregiver and what can happen if they don't.
I want to talk about that subject, and I'm going to also mention about a particular program that I created, which is a transitional service.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All righty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you move it around however you like it.
Yes, I will. Okay. Now, with it, I'm going to talk about it together. My transitional service I created because there are a lot of times that an individual may be in a hospital. They may need total care. And as they leave or exit the hospital, whether they're going to go to a rehabilitation center, nursing home, or they're going to go right home, there is going to be that one person, that family member that's going to be designated to be that main caregiver. And they will, it's not a matter of if they will, it's a matter of when they will become, when they're going to suffer from burnout if they do not have a support system or plan of care in place. Now, I'm going to use that example because I am actually talking with a family, working with a family, though, too, that's in a similar situation. If a person is transitioning from a facility to home, that's plenty enough time to put a plan of care into place. So that's what the transitional service is designed for, to start a program right away with the services like we provide, though, too, with building the manual, all the information pertaining to their ailment inside. But it's so vitally important that families understand, even if you are a family member that does not live directly with the person, it is important for families to recognize there are still things you can do. Still task.
Yeah. And the website with plenty of information for
Yes.
you is
Yes.
incaregiverburnout.com and
Absolutely.
caregiverburnout.com. When you
Yes.
say you'll find your needs can be met right there, there's help.
Absolutely.
All you have to do is contact caregiverburnout.com.
Thank you. And so when you go there, and Hector's going to show information more so with that concerning families, when you go to our website and you go to the resource, it's going to drop down to show you information concerning what family members can do. I have a variety of tasks here, but it's so important for them to recognize getting involved. So again, that transitional service is designed because if a person's exiting a hospital or a rehabilitation center or whatever, they need to have that plan. So we can actually have that to get started right away, because the goal is to prevent caregiver burnout from happening before it even gets started. Happening with support resources and maybe additional caregivers.
Yeah, because when you burn out, you can't provide care.
Right.
You're going to need care.
You're going
right?
to need care, and that way you're going to have two people that's going to be sick in the family. And I do want to say again, our services is non-medical, so I don't want a person to think that it is medical information.
This is all
It
about
is still
training
pertaining
the
Yes, sir.
caregiver, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So this will benefit both the caregiver and the person is
needing
receiving the care. I
Yes.
love it, Lynnel.
Yes, thank you
In
so much.
caregiverburnout.com and in caregiverburnout.com. Hector, it's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. And I want to ask you about, are there any organizations, agencies out there that can possibly help cover the cost of caregiving?
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Appreciate it. Thank you. So we have about 5 different types of insurance companies. They could be long-term insurance companies, MCOs, Medicare Care Advantage Plan, Workman's Comp. It could be Veterans Administration. And just to give an example how this will work, for example, if you take the Veteran Administration, they pay on the Tier 1, they will pay $2,000 a month. And now the Tier 2, they will pay $4,000 a month. Now these, it could pay to maybe the people itself, or it could pay the agency as well. And so these will help the people pay to have this training, right? Because we're not entirely personally focusing on these administrations, but we more cared about the people that needs the help, which is the caregiver.
Yes, right. And Hector, again, back to, there's a lot of veterans out there that don't even know that there's help. And there's a lot of caregivers that care for veterans, family members. They don't know there's help for them either. And that's what you guys are here for, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then let me tell you that sometimes we think it's a money problem, but it doesn't matter how much money you need or you have. You still need a training to know how to care for the people in need. And so that's when we come in and help people, right? We try to help them to not burn out. And so we provided this training that is going to help them to have family support, resources, solutions, and have a care plan. That way they don't burn out. So if anyone knows anybody that needs help in this regard, please just direct them to our website, caregiverburnout.com.
There's, Hector, I'd say there's not any amount of money that can save someone from burning out that's a caregiver. It's all about the training, isn't it? And knowing what to do and having the support base. And again, here's where you guys come in caregiverburnout.com. You're there for support along with other resources that you offer. Is that fair to say?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and these folks that care for people that in need, they don't have any support right now. So this is something new that we kind of figure out that, you know, people really need this help. And so Lynnel make it possible for people to have this training so they don't burn out. They could give their assistance to their loved ones and do it in the right way.
So if you've got a family member that's a veteran that you're caring for, then please visit caregiverburnout.com, and you'll find the resources there that can literally change your life and the patient's life, the person you're caring for, right?
Absolutely.
caregiverburnout.com. What else, Hector, would you like to cover today?
Let me tell you a little bit about the courses and prices. So when you go to our webpage and you go right on the top there, courses and prices, The first thing that you're going to notice is the meeting cost versus our costs and how this is going to impact your life. You're also going to notice the payment option. We have two different trainings. We have a generalized course training, and then we have a specialized training for dementia. So if you have somebody that is have that dementia, so then we have that specialized course. And also we have an important note there that we want to highlight to people is to pick the course that is best for them. So there's 4 courses there, so they could pick the one that they really need. Now, what about if you take one of these courses and you need extra help or further help or support? Well, then we offer a monthly support payment. And so if you need that support or resources, then you could have a monthly payment and we could give you that support. And so right at the end of the webpage, then it's going to explain to you what is it that you're going to expect and learn from these 4 courses that we have. It's 4 weeks that you're going to be in training. What you're going to learn, well, you can find out in the webpage.
And caregiverburnout.com, right? Where we find all this. Lynnel?
Yes.
What do you have to add to that? Because there are people out there that need help. We know that. Veterans, it's real shame that there's so many veterans that are suffering. And then with that, if their caregiver, which will be a family member, most likely, if they've not been trained, then both the patient and the caregiver will suffer tremendously.
They could definitely. Now, I do want to specify the point, though, too, not just for veterans, any caregiver, it doesn't matter. And that's why we also emphasize the point, though, too, concerning insurance companies, because I don't want to I don't want to feel as though that we're just, one specific organization over another. It's not the organizations. We're so much so involved in finding support. It's the services for the actual caregiver.
Right.
So whether or not, whoever you are as a caregiver, burnout is something that anyone could have to deal with. And that's why we also wanted to reiterate the point, though, too, concerning the various different insurances if a person happened to get some of these insurances. But there's something I wanted to also add and that's the fact, though, too, with each week each time I come on your show, my goal is to be able to talk about various different subjects, because the last show I was on with you, I mentioned about at least 95 different training modules that I had. And so that ongoing support that Hector was mentioning about, though, too, the monthly support, that's going to mention about some of these various different topics. For example, the next topic, and I was so happy to have a date that I know that I'll be back on, that's going to be June the 14th, I believe it is, so too. June the 14th at 4:15 p.m. on the Dan Reaves show. Now, that particular topic that I'm going to talk about with my the experience I have in dementia care, but again, this is going to be resources too. We're going to talk about at that time support and resources that can help families better understand various stages of dementia. So that's what we're going to talk about, and again, that's going to be June the 14th at 4:00 or 2. So we're looking forward to being able to do it. So you'll only find out that means you have to pay attention to Dan Reaves again.
Pay attention to me. That's right. Yeah. Hector, anything you want to add to the information? What do you suggest? There are people listening right now and watching that are saying, look, yes, I'm in that, I fall in this category. I'm a caregiver and I'm burnt out. What's the first step they should take?
Yeah, so, what I suggest is to the people is to go to the website, take a look, read through it, make sure that this is for you, and then call your insurance company and see if you qualify. Sometimes we just don't do things because we don't think that we qualify, and we lose in this program. So
can
just
you
go for it.
Hector, can you help with that? Can you help a caregiver that may not know? Can you help them check and see if they do qualify?
Absolutely, yeah. I think Lynnel offer assistance on that too.
Okay.
With it, this is the point I'm going to say. The help we have, because one of the things I do want people to recognize this point. This is very important for you to recognize. It's not going to be a lot of hands-on with it. That's where the monthly subscription is going to come in, because the way the course is designed is so it wouldn't have to be hands-on as much. That's because a lot of individuals that cannot get help through a lot of other agencies, professional caregiving agencies, so they have nowhere else to turn. So this is something, and we even have such a reduced price so that people can know that this is something that they can do themselves with being able to have the information. So it's all spelled out that way. So as far as our hands-on, when you get the monthly course, if it's continually, after you buy the basic course for $800 for everything together with that. But once you buy that course 1, course 2, you got everything you need there with the videos and so forth. As far as agencies that can support, as Hector brought that point out, the 2 insurance companies, there may be other. So we don't really know all involved with all of those. We just gave a few that we see, And family, I do want to say other thing. There are families that can also, family members that can also help, because again, that point, there's so little resources out there to help caregivers suffering from burnout. That's where the part on families, look through our whole website and you can see that from there too.
So endcaregiverburnout.com, that's the website.
Yes,
endcaregiverburnout.com is this Lynnel and Hector and company are there to help caregivers. Point them in the right direction and help if you needed training.
Absolutely.
So that you can take care of the homebound patient. That's, hey, that is quite an assignment that you feel like that's your life, isn't it? This is to help others.
Actually,
to pay it forward.
Yes, I wanted to do that because again, I started the program because I lost dear friends of mine that suffer from burnout, and people and families need to know this is a serious situation. It could cost your life. It could cost your health.
Absolutely.
But there is resources that people don't know about. So I want people to know that they do exist.
If when you take on your next project, would you consider talk show host burnout.com?
We got you. That sounds great.
You are a lovely lady, Lynnel.
Thank you so much.
Lynnel
Thank you so
Townsend.
much. I appreciate it.
And the website again is endcaregiverburnout.com, endcaregiverburnout.com. Hector Castillo, it's a pleasure to meet you, Hector.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
Heard a lot of great things about you.
Well, I hope they true.
I do too. Yeah, and it's this lovely lady right here has got a big heart, doesn't she?
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention something quick. If somebody have any questions, there's a contact us that they could just press and just send a question for us, so that we could
and
answer.
that's what can you find at the website?
On the website, yeah. There's a contact us. You just press it, put your name, all your information, your question, send it to us, and we do the best to answer.
Okay, the website is endcaregiverburnout.com.
Absolutely.
That's where they'll find that button to contact us.
Within 48 hours.
Within 48 hours? Yes. And Lynnel will be back next month. The topic is going to be on dementia. That's on June the 14th at 4:15 right here on this program. Okay, so again, the website is endcaregiverburnout.com, endcaregiverburnout.com. Hector and Lynnel, great to have you on this afternoon.
Thank you. It's an honor to be able to be on.
Thank you, Dan.
It's a pleasure to have you in.